All right, so I guess we can open the meeting, yes? So make a motion to open the meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second it? All right, so we gonna wait for Brad or what?
No, I think we
He's not going to be joining.
He's
He
not
might
gonna
join in
join
to
us at all,
listen.
okay.
Yeah, but he's getting on the plane right now, so he won't be able
Okay.
to say anything, even if he does join in to listen.
Okay. All right, so I guess we can start.
So I think we just start with reviewing the website.
Yeah, review the website and see if
Perfect.
we can get approval on it.
I will get it pulled up. And everybody see my screen.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So I first of all want to thank Peter and Magnolia. We've done a ton on the website, ton on FAQs and understanding broadband. This is what we've added recently. So thank you to you two for all your feedback on that. We really appreciate it. We think it's much better than it was, which is always what we're going for. And starting out, we have the main message of the website, which we've added here. You guys. So if everyone wants to quickly take a look over that, I don't know if everyone has looked at this. Peter, if we've sent that out yet to everybody.
We sent it out last week, so I think everyone has kind of reviewed it.
Okay, I haven't seen this version.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
I think
Perfect.
Yeah.
You sent me
I sent you comments before
on
the
Wednesday,
changes.
right,
Yeah.
before the changes, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. So that looks good to everybody.
Chris,
Great.
you send an email with a comment?
Yeah, the only thing I sent it last minute, of course, because I'm last minute with everything. But that was earlier this afternoon. I just sent it to Peter that where it says Dartmouth Municipal Broadband Advisory Committee. I'm just wondering if there should be any language there about who makes up the committee. You know, whether Peter, us, you know, what is the committee made up of? That's the only thing I thought of and that was last minute.
We do have this link here that was provided to us, which I believe takes us to the committee and the
Okay,
members.
perfect.
If that works for covering that, then we can leave that. If you want it as well, we could add something up here or even another tab
No.
that maybe has more information. But
For me, I missed that link, so I'm
Okay.
fine. I'm fine with that.
Eric, where is it again on the?
it's the link right here. I'm wondering if we could
Oh,
put
okay, no, that's,
like in a parentheses.
Yeah.
And then as well, this link goes to the survey. So we have
Okay.
both of those on
I'm
here.
wondering if we make them a different color, like blue or something, so they pop.
We could do that.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I
that'd be
like
good.
that.
And I'm taking notes here, so bear with me if we
Doesn't have to be pretty,
separate.
so yellow will pop.
Okay. And then we will move to the FAQs. Any questions? We got one comment from Chris, and then again from Peter and Magnolia we worked with, but we got one comment from Chris to add one, which we did. And besides that, that is the only, we kind of worked with Magnolia and Peter to change everything.
All my stuff.
What do we think about the FAQs?
No, I included them actually,
Alright.
in my comments.
Yeah, you did. Did you see anything from Kevin also on comments last week?
I don't think so, did we?
Let me see. Let me bring it up on my phone.
Okay, I'm looking as well.
Did I send it to Brad or? I sent it to you and one other person, I can't remember who.
Oh, from Kevin. Let's see here. I have. Oh, no, that's a little further back when he sent pictures.
That was on the last
All
one.
right,
Like,
I may not have sent them to you, Eric. I think I sent
Okay.
them to Peter and somebody else. Let me, I can pull them up though.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Besides for Kevin's comments, has everyone taken a look at the FAQs? How do they read? Any comments?
oh, I think they look great. I think Magnolia really drilled down on us and got us the perspective that we wanted as far as, you know, the you know, person that's not in the technical field that can read it and understand it a little bit better.
I agree. And I will look out for Kevin's email as well when you send that. We will go ahead and move forward. We also put the understanding broadband link here, which just takes us to this next page over here. But it's there just in case people don't see it above. What do we think about the understanding broadband definitions? Does everyone think they look good? Do they think there's anything that needs to be added?
Nope, I thought it was good.
Same here.
Yeah, no issues.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, Eric, you should have that in your inbox.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. I'll take a look at that. And then anything else on the website, or do you think we're ready to move to the survey? Nothing much has changed on the survey, but one page.
Well, can we go back to the frequently asked questions? I had,
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the things that will everyone have access to the community fiber network?
Yes.
Just to, like, there are sometimes, depending upon who you talk to, there can be a division in Dartmouth between north and south a little bit. And we're trying to avoid that and trying to make this be kind of for as much as we can for everybody. But I think when we look at the network design, it may or may not work that way, at least at first. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to stay away from intimating that we're offering to the whole town right up front, at least not committing to it. And will everyone have access to the community fiber network? The last part of the last sentence, and could start by connecting the most disadvantaged first, something industry typically does not. That pins us into doing something that may not be feasible. And I was thinking of just kind of scratching that. I don't know what you guys think about it.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment.
I mean, I'm not saying it's we're not going to do it, but I don't want somebody to say, hey, you said you were going to start on the website. It said you were going to start at the most disadvantaged area, whereas the network design may not allow for that.
Okay.
Yeah. I know what you're trying to
Just scratching that
I
last
understand
sentence.
exactly what you're trying to do. Yeah, I agree.
So you want to take out everything the town can include
Well, just-
necessary structure, or you want to just?
Just
take out
everything from
And could start by.
and could start.
So end at execution.
Yeah, so anything from execution. Yeah. Okay.
And that's Eric. That's in my email. It more clearly spelled out than us just
Okay.
saying it.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, we will get that taken out after execution. Any other comments on the FAQs right now?
Nope.
Good. Okay. Then we will move forward to the survey.
An additional comment to that,
Yep.
typically, when that question is asked, because it will be asked when you go down the path of education with the community, well, where are you going to start? Or you may even, once you launch the survey, get those types of questions through the website. And oftentimes, right, we just tell people it's determined based on take rate.
Yeah.
So where we see the greatest demand, where we see the most interest is typically where you would begin the construction for a project of this nature. So something to kind of think through is your, kind of noodling what your standard response is going to be to that question, because it will be asked.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. It sounds like a great answer.
So all of us need to get our neighbors to fill out the survey.
Yeah.
That would be smart. And then here we go back, or did it? I already went through and clicked it, so I wonder if it will just load it from there. Okay, let me open it up because I actually already clicked the page and it's saving it automatically. So give me one moment so I can show you the new page on the survey since it already saved on my computer.
Oh, yeah, it's asking me to log into the Survey Monkey.
Outlook's crashed on here.
Can hear your fan spinning.
Yeah, it'll stop.
She's working.
Shouldn't be. I'm just trying to open Outlook. Not asking it to perform a miracle here.
Okay. So this is the new page that was added just at the very start of the survey. Before you actually click next, you'll go to obviously the next page. But it's just saying that if you have any questions or definitions that you need to know more, to go to the Understanding Broadband page, just to kind of help push people over to that.
Okay.
It's the only thing that's been changed on the survey since we last spoke. So everything else is still the same. You guys want me to go through the survey just so we know how it's running? Or do we think we all have an understanding of that?
I'm good.
I'm
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good.
it's pretty thorough
Okay.
last time.
Okay, perfect. And then let me change the page I'm sharing. And then the press release that was drafted, I'll pull that up.
Here we go.
We have one question to answer on there. All right. Has everyone gotten a chance to look at the press release?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Any questions on any of the wording?
No, I think Brad's only comment was about the opened up for 2 months. I think you
Yep.
said normally you guys suggest 3 to 4 weeks.
Yes. Yeah, normally, unless we're not getting the responses that we'd like and we're going to do another push, we generally aim for 3 to 4 weeks.
You'll see the greatest number of responses once you start doing your PR around the survey. And that's when you get the greatest number. And then if you do a second push, that's always helpful as a reminder to people who, intended to take the survey, others who may have not seen the original. When you start doing a third or fourth push, it starts to become very minimal as far as the results that you get from those efforts. So 2 weeks probably isn't long enough. 4 weeks, I think, is probably the average that we've seen most have the greatest amount of success. The longer it's open, it's just open. And there's maybe 1 or 2 that trickle in from there.
So one question did come up from one board member, and I haven't asked the rest of the board yet this, because we have like a bunch of holiday events happening over the next 2-3 weeks. So her concern with us pushing back the launch of the survey to January was that we basically lose that advertisement time to push it out to some groups. And so the question was could we, or what's your recommendation as far as if we want to do like a soft launch, like have the website available and just like some posters up at these events? So if people decide to see it and take the survey, great, but we don't really push it until our official push date would be in January instead of like right now, right before the holidays, where it's going to probably get overlooked by a bunch of other people.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
So one thing to consider, and I do like that idea, is a lot of people, right, over the next couple of weeks are taking time off. So they have time, right, to respond to a survey. Whereas come the first of the year, everyone gets back into, their schedule, and, work and school. And so you kind of lose that time and attention of residents and businesses. So I do very much like the idea of the soft launch if you're technically not going to launch until January, because you'll have the opportunity to capture people who you may not ordinarily have a chance to once you do launch in January. Does that make sense?
This is Chris. I just had one question. with regards to how long the survey is open for, in the press release, did you consider about setting like a date saying, hey, surveys are going to be open till X time? The only reason I say that is just because, you know, if they say 2 months and they're in their head, they have, all right, 2 months from the day. I don't know, just, it might just add a sense of urgency. But-
I kind of like what Chris, I like that idea, Chris. Like instead of saying 2 months, say,
A deadline.
hit it before it closes. Instead of saying for the next 2 months, it's gonna be up. Is that what
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
driving at, Chris?
I was thinking, survey is up. It'll be open until, I'm just making it up, February 15th. You know, and then let's just say at that point in time or a couple weeks beforehand,
You're not a procrastinator. I am.
you don't get you don't get the
Procrastinators work
survey.
better with a hard deadline.
I'll do it later.
Yeah, no, but then I'm just imagining like if we don't get the number of responses, you know, maybe what you could do then is do a follow-up announcement and say deadline extended, you know, and then give the new date, and then that's just another
Yeah,
opportunity.
exactly.
So if we're
Exactly.
going on, if we're going on a 3 to 4 week timeline, then that would be what, February 9th? So if you just put in some language, last date to take the survey was February 9th at 5 PM or something like that.
Right, that's if we decide, I mean, I think this also brings into the conversation of when we actually want to launch it. I think Brad and I had some preliminary discussions about January 9th. The committee already had a scheduled meeting that night. And then this also is a little bit on entry point too, because this would be when they would send a representative here to be in person. So we have to kind of work around their schedule a little bit too.
Right.
So I think Brad and I were going back between the week of January 8th or January 15th to do the launch of the survey. So I think we just figure out the launch date and then you set the date 4 weeks later.
Well, like we discussed earlier before everybody showed up about having the select board meeting on the Monday prior. So if the 9th is the Tuesday, the select board meeting is on the 8th. We have a couple of minutes in front of the select board to say, hey, by the way, here we are, we've got the survey, it's gonna go live tomorrow at, 9 AM. And here in this community, a lot of people still watch the select board meetings. It'd be a good way of launching it and getting it going.
So I guess Nicole or Eric, do you have any, I think Brad said that you might have access to Jeff's schedule, because I guess Jeff might be the one coming out to do this, and so I'm not sure
Yes.
how that would align with his schedule.
Yeah, we have the 9th or the 16th
All right.
are good days for us that Jeff can come out.
So go for the 9th?
Yeah, I say we go with the 9th. How do you guys feel about that?
No problem with that.
How about you?
I'd like to have it open early, that's the official launch, but it's gonna be open before that.
Official announcement to the
Yeah.
community that
I
on the
mean,
9th, it goes
I would
live.
envision if.
It's more of a media push
Right,
thing.
if-
Aye.
If you all agree that the website FAQ and survey is good today, you vote on it, they can make it live whenever they can, however long it takes them to make it live, it'll go live, it'll be out there. We could do like a small little, or we can create, like a poster board that we can put at some of these concerts
Yeah,
that are coming up, some of these other events coming up, so and then we can put out like a small thing on Facebook or something to say that, here's a new website, go check it out, there's a survey going on, and then
Yeah.
just kind of do like a soft release, let it go. And then, do the official public meet. So the launch that we're calling it is basically a public meeting, so if anyone wants to come and hear from Entry Point, hear from the group, they can hear what the survey's supposed to do, and then it'd be 4 weeks after that we'd close it.
And
Do
so
we
you're
have
aware, the website
access-
and survey are ready to be released at any time, just so that's up to you. Those are ready to go.
okay.
Go ahead, before I jump in.
You know where you pay your property tax, your car excise taxes, that's not a Dartmouth website, is it?
It's
The link
under
is through the website.
the link is
It's,
through
the link
yeah.
is through the website.
So are you asking if there's a way to get something on that
On-
part of it?
On that.
I don't know, I can ask.
Well, like I was.
'Cause I'm just thinking, like, where does everybody go to? Unfortunately, not a lot of people go to the Dartmouth Connect website, I don't think. But a lot of people will go to pay the excise taxes, pay your property taxes, go through that.
Maybe have like a pop out or something on that website if you could.
Right.
Yeah, I was just asking whether that's, I don't think that's our website. That's,
And then the other thing is our new PR person is been completing a survey on how town residents want to receive the information.
yeah.
So hopefully she can use that to figure out how to, go out to people. So we can see that too, like what her recommendation is as far as, again, I think, we try to kind of put it out a little bit now, let it kind of get out there. It'll trickle out, like it'll go on Dartmouth Helping Dartmouth.
Yeah, I think
They'll get on those things and.
It'll get the
and you'll
ball
get-
rolling.
Yeah,
Town
we'll
hall, the
put-
electronic,
right.
let's get some electronic signs
Right.
out there.
So, and then,
That reminds me, I hate to interrupt you. We do have the sign out here, where we have announcements, right? That would be, just run it constantly on there. I think
Right.
that would be really, really good, be efficient.
One nit on the press release while looking at it here. Second paragraph after the intro says aims to find out how residents and local businesses get internet access. It basically says the exact same thing further down, so I don't know, just to eliminate redundancy, maybe eliminate it at the top, add it to the bottom, or take what's further down and move it up. Just to make it a little cleaner, but that's
Oh, yeah,
just
I see what
a
you're saying.
suggestion. It's not something that we would have, like I said, it's kind of like a nitpick, so I'm fine with it the way it is if it goes out like this too.
Do we want to say get or access? So the survey asks about how residents access the internet or get internet access. That's a nitpicky thing too.
Yeah, I mean,
Provided?
Or
Internet
provide,
access.
yeah.
businesses
receive
access
internet
the-
access?
receive.
Are provided.
Yeah, access or receive is a little fancier than get, but not too fancy, so I wouldn't be opposed to that. My main thing was just there's a little redundancy there, but so, that it kind of, maybe there needs to be there, I just a suggestion.
Say, yeah.
We probably don't want to do
Access.
access, because access.
I would say access, either access internet service or access the internet.
That works good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that second one's good, right?
Yeah, access
Access
the
the
internet.
internet.
Yep.
And what do we think about having the top sentence here, which is similar to that? Do we want to?
I mean, you could start with the survey comes as a larger push, and then just at the bottom, it says the survey asks how residents get internet access. If you just, because up top it mentions local businesses, you could just add the verbiage of local businesses to that paragraph further down.
Yeah, and clean
And it
that
would
up.
just, it would just clean, it would just
Yeah, it would clean
eliminate
it
the
up.
redundancy, you add businesses to it further down and, use the access language instead of get, I think.
How residents and business
Yeah,
access
residents
the
and
internet, and just get rid of that.
Access the internet, or, yeah, this is, like I said, this is a major league nitpick, because it's a good press release, so.
Yeah, and then you can delete that first sentence. Oh, you did already. Perfect. Okay. There's supposed a town-owned fiber optic broadband network throughout the government, meaning the ability for the town to provide internet access to I would say residents and businesses. Yeah.
Perfect.
Will that right someday?
You want to, is there a way to stick in there the idea of improving customer service? Because, it's funny, nobody shows up for the Comcast negotiations. But if you go out and you talk to your friends, everybody's like, I'm never calling into Comcast again. And I'm the same way. So,
You could say customer service and overall satisfaction with their current internet provider.
there
There
you
you
go.
go.
And how much they pay. So customer service, comma,
Overall.
overall satisfaction with their current internet provider and how much they pay for internet. I would say service instead of access, internet service.
How do you like these pictures?
Picture's fantastic. Thank you.
Spent about half a day driving around.
Maybe say pay for current internet service. You okay with those little edits?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Yeah. Thanks for humoring me.
I'm like that. I saw the word get and I was like, oh, I don't like that. But it's, I'm nitpicky too.
Perfect. And I can get this saved and sent out again. So we have this copy of the draft. And another question about, you talked about the select board meeting and possibly having it on the 8th, right before the release. Would you like someone from Entry Point to attend that select board meeting?
I mean, if they're flying in and they're here the night before, because I think the 9th, we planned on doing what, I think Nicole and Brad did the other day in Connecticut, where we'll have a couple meetings scheduled, like something in late morning, 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and then a public one at night. So, I mean, if he's available to get in for a 6:30 at night meeting, that would be great. If not, the committee could handle it, but the select
Is that
board-
when the meeting is 6:30 on the 8th?
Yeah, that's when
Okay.
the select board meets, and then we would do the public meeting, like, the group meetings on the 9th.
So interesting, in East Haddam, to kind of give you an idea, they did 3 public meetings. Their morning meeting was geared toward seniors. So they did a huge push at the senior center. And there were 75 to 80 people there in the morning. The lunch meeting was for businesses. If you are going to do a lunch meeting for businesses, you may want to entice people and think of it, if you feed them, they will come. And provide maybe, light lunch or snacks or something like that.
Right.
That was actually, they only had maybe 6 people in that meeting. And then the evening meeting, there wasn't anything competing that evening. And I would say there were about 25 people in the evening meeting. So the morning meeting was the biggest meeting of the day.
Right. And we were thinking about doing the same thing. The only other group that I was almost thinking of adding was an educational group meeting. We have a university in town, we have public schools, we have a couple private schools. So if we could get them to come maybe like later after, like between the lunch meeting and the evening meeting, we could do like a quick, like hour and a half, 2 hours in there for that. But,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I've already talked to the Council on Aging director, and she was agreeable to us going there, and she would help us push to have that down at the Council on Aging, and then businesses will just have to figure out. We can talk after about what businesses we think we want to try to get, and any kind of educational. But that was our thought, was those 3 focus groups basically, and we'll see what we get for a night meeting, because everyone, like he says, everyone complains about Comcast, but then when it's time for them
Yeah.
to come out and talk about it, they don't, so.
Well, you're competing, right, with after-school activities, prior plans. It's just going home because you're exhausted at the end of the day. So it's the evening. I was surprised by that. We all were. We thought that would have been the most highly attended, but it ended up being the morning.
Yeah. So I think, and so I think Brad asked about what we thought the format was going to be at these. So I guess what do you guys envision? I guess more for the public meeting, right? Because the focus groups are gonna. Well, I guess the Council on Aging one would be kind of like what your public meeting is, but your business and your education one, I don't know. I think you could tailor that more towards the technical side of it, and talk more technical to them versus, your Council on Aging and your public.
Absolutely.
I can see the Council on Aging being.
So I
like
mean,
a-
my thought on the meeting, for the general public one is, a quick presentation on, just going through the website, showing them, you know, the basic layout of it, the FAQs, show them where the survey is, show them how to fill out the survey. Just general, you know, Saul or somebody from the committee could do like a 5-minute presentation on what the committee's looking to do, why we're looking for this information, and then take questions.
Yeah, it's gonna
Or
be Q and
comments
A,
from-
it's gonna be more Q and A than anything, I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna get in the weeds of like technicalities of the whole system, they just wanna understand why we're doing this and what they're gonna get from it if we actually install it.
Right.
That's pretty much what I see happening, right? So I don't think that'll be much of a problem.
Is there, what have you guys come across, like, when you're doing these meetings, I guess?
So I'm going to use East Haddam as an example. So they've done the education after they did their feasibility study. They didn't do the education while doing the study or the survey. This is a result of, right? It was a result of the survey and the overwhelming response that they got to that. So then their next step is, if we really were to launch into a municipal network, what type of interest, real interest, take rate, would we get? Would the community truly support this initiative? So they were doing more technical presentations. And when I say technical, it was very 101, very basic. So it was about, what is a municipal network? What do we mean by that? What is open access? Explaining that concept, and then answering questions, really. And a lot of the questions, like I said, were very personal to people, right? So someone will have already talked to a local service provider to find out what it would take to get them to drop a fiber line to their home. So that person's, it's probably, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. That person's going to ask, am I going to have to pay that? That's the type of question, and kind of the Q&A that you get. What is it going to cost? Is it going to raise my taxes? If we were to do this, is everyone going to get it? Where are you going to start building? So you can kind of see the writing on the wall a little bit. Fascinated by the open access concept. Well, what ISPs are going to come onto the network? We don't know that yet. But we try and answer as best we can, right? We look to local ISPs. Those are here within your community that would come on to the network, those types of things, right, that we're trying to answer for. But again, you're really coming at this from why we are investing in this study is to determine if this is a path we want to go down. But to prepare you, you will get some of those more intricate questions from people who are maybe a little bit more savvy, right? But they kind of took a different approach to give you that idea. Most everyone else has done their education and their marketing after the fact. They haven't been as vested as you are up front. So I give you props for that.
I mean, I think what you talked about, some very basic stuff, is great. As long as we don't get them in the weeds, and
Yeah.
like as long as we can keep it very, like, I don't want to say dumbed down, but like down that somebody would be able to simplify. That's
Keep
it.
it simple,
Yeah. And
because this is very preliminary right now, and I don't think that we need to get in the weeds.
And that's where you want to focus.
Right.
You're going to have to turn the questions back on people and say, that's exactly why we're investing in this study. These are the answers we're trying to get at, right? This is what we're trying to identify. So to reassure people, I think more than anything that, this is, what you're trying to work towards, and identify if this is going to be a supported, solution moving forward.
I think we could do a combination of it. I definitely think stepping people through the website to show them like the different pages, just so they know, like, oh, well, if I have questions, I can go to the FAQ page, and a lot of these questions are already answered that I may have, and telling them that, no, you can't take the survey 5 times on the same computer. it's not gonna let you. So if somebody from your household takes the survey, that's it. We're not gonna, and then, like I said, like we've talked, I think, Nicole and I and Brad have talked about also having a way for people to do a paper version of the survey that we will then enter in. And I think Eric has said that he could provide us with a website that we could log into and enter in
that
multiple data. Because
Yeah, with
I
an
know
Excel.
that's one thing that our seniors have always, complained about some of these digital surveys that, they can't do them, they feel left out. So we want to make sure that everyone's included. And so even if I got to sit there and enter 50 of them in, I'll do it.
When we meet with the council on aging, what if we have a tablet?
Well, that's well, my thought is we'd have one or two laptops there.
'em right there.
And that we could do a few right there if they wanted to.
Right.
But then if, we can leave a stack of them, so if people want to grab them and turn them back into the council on aging, we can update in a couple of weeks later, like.
Give them a couple of options.
Yeah.
You just bring up something that I'm wondering if that should be in there, like how you said, you have 5 people in the household, all 5 can't take it. Should we have language in there that the survey is 1 per household in business?
Well, people are gonna get around, people that are tech savvy are gonna know that if they go on their cell phone, they're gonna be able to take it.
That's
They're gonna-
true.
They're gonna be able to take it on their.
How are they
laptop.
identifying that? MAC address or IP address?
IP address.
Because if it's the IP well, yeah, anything on the, if as long as you're on the Wi-Fi network, it doesn't, it's all gonna be the same IP, unless you fiddle around with the VPN.
I mean, the people that are smart enough to know are gonna do it, and,
I don't think it'll skew the data that much.
yeah.
Somebody at 106 William Street has a lot of.
All right, so.
I think we're in good shape, actually.
Yeah, you wanna,
I'm
wanna take a
comfortable.
vote on launching everything?
Yeah. Make a motion to vote on the launch date and the soft launch. Can I get a
Moved.
second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Here we go. We're good to go on that.
Great.
And I think the only other thing that we had with entry point, and then we can let you guys go after this, is the, learning sessions
Yep.
that, we're giving out. I know Sarah, I don't have what she gave, but I know Chris sent an email today with, 1, 2, 6, 10, and 11 for his numbers.
Yes. I have Sarah's as well, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 10. And so, speaking with Brad earlier, we thought it'd be a good place to start, unless other people want to chime in with what they want to hear, with just number 1. And then we can resend out the list and get everyone else's ranking of what they would like to, what educational topic they'd like to hear.
And we would probably do that for the second meeting in January, not the launch date of January 9th, so it would be the 23rd.
23rd for the first educational topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would think the launch date would just be, maybe some planning beforehand on if we have to strategize on how to really push it more or something, and then the open public meeting and not worry about the education, because I mean, we'll have the education with the launch.
Perfect. We have 23rd, and or is everyone okay with us doing the first, which is 8 reasons why a city should own digital infrastructure? That's the first educational topic.
Yep. I am.
Okay. Great.
Awesome. Well, we won't
Perfect.
keep you around for the rest of it, but you're welcome to stay, but you're welcome to go. So they got a couple more things, but nothing really that has to do with you.
One last question or comment that we have. We as well, to help promote the website and the survey, do have flyers that we'd be happy to make
Okay,
for the town.
great.
Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, if you want to send us some stuff,
Okay.
that'd be great, and you can look them over, and I can forward them to the rest of the committee,
Right.
and we
So,
can just
yeah.
get their approval offline.
Yeah.
Many of clients, we can do a QR code as well. So
Yeah.
we'll create that. It'll have the
What I was
website.
after. I want the QR code in the worst way.
Yeah.
Because that makes
The
life a
website
lot
address.
easier.
The QR code, and we'll send you 3 different versions. You have some options, and they'll use them to post on Instagram, Facebook. You can print them and pass them out and make them available at different events, right? If you're going to have tables, especially during the soft launch, sometimes that might be helpful. And then others have also printed them poster size.
Right.
So if you're having community meetings or things to that nature and you want to put something on an easel, you have the ability to do that as well.
Yep, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
that all works.
All
Send
right.
it over.
No.
We have a tree lighting this Sunday, so I'll make sure it gets out there for it,
Yeah,
so.
that'd be perfect. Yeah, that's it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Just to be, I just want to circle back to something. Did we agree that the survey site is going to go live within the next day or two so we can do the soft launch stuff?
Yeah, I
Or
think
when is
that's
that going to go live?
I think Eric has a couple edits that he has to make, but he said it was pretty much live now, so. it's-
I can make it live in the next 20 minutes
There you
if
go.
you're
Awesome.
happy with that.
Great.
Very cool.
All right.
And then any changes that you need on the fly, we can make. Not a
Yeah.
big deal. Now it's just going to be little tweaks. So if there's anything that pops up, just shoot us a note and we can get that corrected immediately.
Sounds good.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Just one more thing. When I just tried to click the survey, it asked me to log into SurveyMonkey.
Okay. You shouldn't have to. No. I will take a look at that and make sure that's not a problem.
Let me make
That
sure.
could just be because it's not live yet.
It did not ask me
Have
to
you-
do that.
Have you taken the survey? Could that be why?
I think I did test it a couple times.
Because that might be because there's the one IP address. I'm
don't know if
not
you-
sure. I will
see it.
figure out what that is and make sure that isn't popping up for
It's
other
not doing
people.
that to me. That's interesting.
It's weird.
So I guess that's another question is if, can
on the
you
Wi-Fi
kind of clear all the,
I am too, yeah. I'm on the
any
Wi-Fi.
kind of person, like these guys might have already filled out the survey, so if we wipe the survey clean and
I can do
allow
that,
anyone
yes.
else to go back in and do it again.
So wait, if we're both on Wi-Fi, I'm getting this and you're
not.
not, then you're probably seeing the same IP address. So,
It might go off your phone's address if it's on the
we're
phone.
both on laptops.
Yeah,
Both
yeah.
on laptop.
I can get it. I can get into it.
I got it on my phone.
I'm on the public Wi-Fi in the building, so.
Maybe
I
maybe
just
it's just
clicked
me.
on it.
I don't know.
You double check the settings.
Just click refresh on the page and try it again.
I could get rid of the cache and,
Yeah, it might just be a cookie.
One other note, Eric, I just clicked on it and I'm in the survey, but dartmouthfiber.com, understanding broadband for help it's there, but it's not hyperlinked.
It can't be. There's
Oh.
no way to hyperlink it on SurveyMonkey. Sadly,
Oh,
we
goodness.
tried for a little bit.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a bummer. Okay. Well, that's okay. People can copy and paste it.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Okay.
Another way to check if it is maybe if you go incognito mode, it might load for you if you try and look at it that way. That's the only other thing I could think. But I will make sure that there's no weird settings on there that why it's doing that.
Great. Awesome. It's exciting.
Progress.
This is the hardest part, just getting all this up and running.
Been a long time
Oh.
coming.
Yeah. All right.
All right, thank
Any
you.
other questions?
No, I think we're good. Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a great day.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, gentlemen. The next thing is the select board meeting on December 11th of 2023.
Yeah, so that was originally a thought of going to the select board in front of them to talk about this, but we've pushed it off to
Yeah, we pushed it off.
January 8th.
January 8th,
And
yep.
That's because December 11th is already going to be like 5 hours long because Chris is going to be there talking, so,
Chris Me showed?
no. Oh, Chris Oliver.
On what day? On the 8th? Yes.
The 11th.
On the-
I think you're probably going to be there on both of them, December 11th and January 8th, but
I think so, yes. That's all right.
there's some joint meetings going on, so I'm gonna be there for, to talk about a telethon that we're doing, and I may just tell the select board real quick that we'll be in front of them in January to, launch the survey and.
Do I have to notify them that I want some time in front of them like we did the last time?
No,
or-
I've already talked to Sean McGinnis and told him that was the date we're looking at, so I will send him an email to confirm that we're gonna hopefully have somebody in from Entry Point to talk to the select board on January 8th, and that we're doing the launch on January 9th, so he already kinda had it softly on their schedule.
Okay.
But we should be fine.
All right, and so the next order of business is the Serped Municipal Digital Equity Plan.
I think Chris has worked with Serped a little bit more, so maybe he could give you a brief rundown on it.
Yeah, I'll just give a quick update. So Peter and I had a conversation with the team over at Serped. They gave us a presentation on really what the plan is, the process for applying, and really just more or less offered their services if we wanted to, put in an application. So really the digital equity plan, there's a lot of overlap with what we're currently doing with regards to outreach. And the goal is obviously to serve under, what's the word I'm trying to find? Serve the population that is not being served currently, underserved. There we go. And so with that, they more or less said, hey, you guys interested in applying? Where we left off was we said we were going through this current broadband study, and we'll most likely put an application in February once we have the results of this study. I think that's probably the best route, just because we're not doing a duplication of effort, and the information that we collect here, I think, will be really valuable and save us time and money on the back end doing that other plan. So, as we get more information, we get closer, the conditions, things that we would hope to have included in that equity plan, we can talk about that probably towards the end of January. We'll have more details, but yeah, that's kind of it right now.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll deal with that come January, towards the end of January, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much for doing that, though, much appreciated. All right, and next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
It was from a few meetings ago.
Few meetings, actually,
October
yeah.
3rd, I think, is the minutes you got in front of you.
Right.
So,
Move to accept.
Second.
And I'm drawing like my mind literally just went blank just now, holy Jesus. We have to vote on it, yes?
Yes.
Right, okay. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Wow. Just totally like, phew, disappeared.
It's late in the day.
Yeah, I've been up since 3:30. Oh, God.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, any unknown items? Anything else we want to discuss? No? All right, so I guess make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
Those in, aye?
Yes.
There we go.
thank you.